A warm welcome to everyone today. I am Krishna Gowda.
I am Mitravinda.
And we are the hosts for today's event, Career Guidance Series 2022 in Management Consulting. We have with us today Dr. Ashutosh Mishra, an alumnus of IIT Kanpur with over 20 years of experience in the industry. He's an experienced analytics director with a history in electrical and electronics manufacturing, as well as the insurance industry, advanced analytics, Internet of Things, AI, machine learning, business processes, customer relationship management, global delivery, and IT service management are all his areas of competence and expertise. With a PhD in physics from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, he is a strong information technology specialist. He began his professional career as a relationship manager with Safeco Insurance and has since held numerous positions at TCS, including regional manager, account manager, and head of analytics and big data, insurance, and healthcare. He has also spent over 2 years as a director, advanced analytics and big data at Philips Lighting. He is currently an associate partner, data analytics, AI cognitive at IBM. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Krishna.
So now I request Dr. Ashutosh Mishra to share his experiences in the field of information technology.
So before that, I want to invite him, welcome Mr. Ashutosh Mishra. So on behalf of Department of Management Studies, the Anand Sagar College of Engineering, I welcome you, sir, for today's event. So you have been, traveling with us throughout from the day we started with our analytics, and he has been our mentor for our department. For developing our curriculum and further value addition as a BOS member, and whenever I have a doubt and other thing, I have been get cleared with him, and he has support us in so many ways. So when the moment we think about consultant, then I was remembering you, sir. Thank you very much for coming forward. It's very nice to you be with IBM as a associate partner, and that is the right time for us to deep dive into your experience related to the consultancy position, sir. I'll now welcome you and also hand over the session to our student executive Krishna Gowda and Mitravinda now. Over to you guys.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Now I request Dr. Ashutosh Mishra to share his experiences in the field of information technology with us and also talk us through your journey as a consultant.
Sure. First of all, thank you. And I see a good participation here. So about 69 people on the call. So that's a very good, for any speaker, it's always good to have people there, and especially when you have a young lot, like what you have. Means again, look at my hair and look at your hairs. Means they tell you the story, right? So when it comes to consulting, right, so let's start with understanding, and I am very sure that you guys are very clear, and we'll keep this, don't keep it like a monologue, so anybody can just speak out anything or wants to discuss anything, please be open. Okay, so let's keep it that way, that it's very interactive session so that you gain most of it. Okay, now for since you have said that, okay, let me give my profile, that how my hairs have become gray, is that I began this whole after doing my PhD, and it was during that time when I joined TCS in the management consulting group to start with, and that is where, in fact, I was very fortunate. Day one, when I joined TCS, they assigned me to a project, saying that, okay, with your knowledge and other things, why don't you look at the Tata Group itself? And start looking at it. At that point of time, Tata Group had something like 125 companies in itself. So Tata Group is a huge group. It's just like a GE. GE is now also cut down itself. So Tata Group also was huge, like 125 companies. To run them, it's very difficult. And so they said, okay, why don't you look at it? So always understand, the day one, when you enter into it, the first thing is you have to have a team. So I looked at it and I said, I cannot do it alone. They started laughing. They said, yes, definitely. So they put me into a team which was working on it at that point of time, and I became a part of it. So initial task was just to get through certain tools, certain methodologies, that how they do it, what are they doing. So they brought me up to speed, and henceforth I joined that group. Yeah, we did this exercise for about 6 months, and recorded lot of record what people are saying, how to do this part. So we did a lot of studies during that time and collected a lot of information. The next project was, and then we did some exercise, and we'll talk about it, that what was the strategy. I cannot discuss a lot of things, we cannot tell it on the call also, because those are very, very sensitive and confidential. So we'll not discuss the results here for that one. We'll discuss wherever it is I have the authority, I will discuss. Yeah, the next one was studying the educational institutes in India. So and this I'm talking about is in 90s. So we were looking to develop a software which can be sold to all the companies in India, like what Baiju is doing now. We looked at it this in 90s, and we went about and looking about all these engineering colleges. So my job was to go to REC Warangal, and I stayed there. That time it was Naxalite infected, so I could sit with them with AK-47s, and discuss with them that how the education should look like, with AK-47 with me. next one. So at that point of time, we collected all this information, and we put up some kind of a requirement that this is what should be there at minimum when you are looking for a software to be developed. And this is, I'm just talking about the initial phase where you collect the requirement, right? And I was new, I was fresh, so I was put into that job, and there were very senior people in this project also. And at that point of time, my hairs used to be black, their hair is used to be gray. So that is how the teams are always formed. It is never, consultancy is never about one person, it's about contribution from a lot of people, and these people will have expertise in different areas. Now, as a fresher, when you get into these consultancy projects, you will be initially be required into these business blueprinting kind of a thing, where you understand what is the problem statement, and then you collect the information. So that is what I did to start with. Then slowly and slowly they saw my maturity, etc. And then there was a requirement in US. So a similar kind of a thing where a customer needed to build a data warehouse at that point of time. And this again is in 90s. Customer went there. So in US, and again, 90s, nobody believed in outsourcing. Nobody believed in IT. So you had to sit with the customer, and then the first questions they were asking, oh, how can you do the job? It's again 3,000 kilometers away. Somebody is there who is working during the day, their daytime. We have night. How is this going to work? They had no clue. And so those days were the best days, because now you're sitting with the CEO and CFO, and they have, first of all, they cannot identify India on a map. Okay. Second thing is, we are saying that, okay, there will be a bunch of people who will be working on your project. Third thing is, they had no clue how these guys are going to connect to their systems and what are they going to do. So with that maturity, we had to talk to them, preach them sometimes that this is how these things will be working, and blah blah blah. And then we brought them up to speed, and then I started working with them closely. First of the projects where we could show them a difference was a project where we took some. So what we did is, we did a very intelligent thing there. We took some 12 people, we brought it from India there in US, and made them sit with the customer and said, okay, these are the 12 people who will take some knowledge from you and work on a small. So they were doing some kind of evaluation. This was an insurance company in US, large insurance company, and they were doing so they were doing something of a, again, when you get all these auto insurance done, so they have to do some preliminary checking. And at that point of time, IT was not there much, so all these things were happening manually. So somebody has to check all these things. So we brought some 12 people there, made them sit with them. They understood it. They worked with them for 6 months, 7 months. And then what we said is, one day we said to them that, okay, these 12 people, out of 12, 7 will go back to India, and 5 will remain here with you. So we will test it out. And that is what we did. So we moved something like 7 people to India. Those 7 started contributing. Then slowly from this 5 also, we moved another 2, and then only 1 person was here in US. The rest all moved to India. So that is how we brought them up to speed. And that is how they see this whole thing of consulting starts working. That you showed a customer and you brought in that confidence that, okay, this thing is going to work. So this small example will tell you that there are 2, 3 things. Number one, strategy. That we put up a little strategy that how to make this thing work. Second thing is, we gave them a plan where we can show them the value of this whole thing. Now, since we moved these people to India, we were able to cut down on the cost. So whatever they were doing, like let's say $1 million, we were able to do in like 100K or so. So the saving, effectively the saving of 900K directly, right? Then we brought in that expertise of domain. So the next question would be coming is, okay, do you really know my insurance business? It's very different in US. So what we did, we brought in the people. They sat with them, worked with them for 6 months. So they got that confidence. Now, when the same person is working from anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter, right? So slowly and slowly, this whole strategy works. So that is how consulting works. You define, you do strategization, you bring in your expertise, you bring in that part, put all these things together and understand that we are in 90s. I've still not moved to 2000s, right? So in 90s, you had to do this. There were no Google in play. There were nothing, right?
Yeah.
So as we moved into 2000, these things started emerging. At that point of time, I don't know how many of you know Yahoo. Yahoo used to be, the Yahoo Messenger used to be something very big, okay? And it's no more there, by the way. But that was the biggest thing. And Yahoo, nobody remembers now. The whole things changed with Yahoo, believe me or not, because Yahoo was the one who brought in Hadoop into the picture later on, right? And it's nowhere there, no. So Google took it over. From there on, Google started coming into the picture and we started using Google. Then the things started changing. Slowly and slowly, these clients also matured. Again, remember in consultancy, it's not only about giving an advice, it's also to see that your advice works. So there are companies very specialized in doing this. All these big firms, IBM, McKinsey, PwC, they all do these kind of jobs. Mercer, all they do is all these kind of jobs. But understand what they do is very important. They learn. They keep on reading. They keep on collecting the data all around. Now, data, when I'm saying again, 1999, 2000s, no data. It's all on paper. So if you have to look for something expertise, go for looking for articles which are research publications in various places. Go and buy them and read it. Now, today, everything is available on Google. You do Google, you will have thousands of pages of information at any point of time, right? So that is the way we build up our experience at that point of time. Now it is becoming easier and easier. We have done so much of work. IT has really revolutionized the global information system and has effectively given that part of consulting. So earlier times consulting was like you plan for 5 years, 7 years and show them how this will work. Now it's like 1 year, 2 year. That's what you plan because things change around you, right? And most of the customers have also become literate. They go to Google and they do themselves the whole research. So when they come to us and they do the consulting, it becomes very difficult because they are ready with the questions. They know that these are the things. They have already done their research part. So that is how whole of consulting has moved. It has become very interesting. And then I stayed in US. So with that, I stayed there for 14 years, played various roles, came back to India, again took up these roles, analytical roles, have worked globally with a lot of CXOs, CFOs, CDOs, and helped them with their strategies, how they should define, and also implemented it with them. So I was able to show them the difference that how these things will work. See, until unless you show them that difference, they will not accept anything. Why should they believe you, right? But one thing is there, when they are calling you for a discussion, it means they need some help. You have to identify what is the help you need and move from there and bring in that expertise. So you might have to do a lot of reading, a lot of work you have to do, push it before you go, because now you are advising someone. Understand that his strategy is depending upon your advice. And if it doesn't work, then he is sacked. Definitely he will lose his job, because there is a lot of millions of dollars which are going to be invested on that strategy which you are going to define. So it's a very difficult task sometimes, and sometimes you have to think a lot and understand that this thing has to work, and these things will be new. This because you're trying to define the future of the country. Means again, look at it how Prime Minister Modi is looking at it. It is exactly the same thing. All the best people in India today are involved with government. Believe me or not, means a lot of retired people, he has hired them again and he has put them into the task. Means I know a lot of people there in the government now. Means they're retired. A lot of professors, etc. For the first time in India, the professors are getting a value. Okay, they have been called to do the job. Otherwise, in India, no professors, no one. You don't participate in consulting usually, even in IITs. Whereas if you go to the West, All these professors, they get paid to participate in these all consulting assignments. So that is how India is also changing, world is also changing, consulting is also changing, right? So in short, cutting it short now, then I moved back to India and then started doing consultancy in India as well as globally, providing the help from here. I used to manage a team of 3,500 people at that point of time. Then I moved into Signify or Philips, and now I am in IBM. So again, this thing continues. I keep on meeting a lot of senior people, so you get to know what is happening. Is in Monday again, I will be back in Mumbai. I'll be sitting with one company. It's one of the largest steel companies in India, and they are they have very big plans. So I have to sit with them again. They are looking for an advice from me that how these things will happen, of how we have to change our IT, how we have to change our think about it. The whole setup which they have is a very traditional setup, and they are there for last 60, 70 years. And how the tradition will not work now, and they are seeing the change. And that is where they ask us to come into the picture. And what we do, we take a lot of freshers like you into the team because you are the ones who are going to define the future. It's not me. So we take you as a part of the team and we ask you, okay, what would you do if you have to manage this company or you have to do this business? And that is where the freshers become so important for us. And so we will help you with our experience that what is the experience we have got for last so many years. But what we want to hear from you is how the younger generation wants to play with it, because you are the ones who are going to work. There will be no one there. All the people will get retired and all. So how do you see to this business? And that is where this whole consultancy business gets built slowly and slowly. Yeah. So I will leave it. Otherwise, I can keep on going on this for hours. 20, 25 years. It's not easy to do it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes sometimes.
No, it's interesting to listen to you. Such a wonderful story. Please go ahead. Not an issue of time. Yeah.
No. We'll
Because
do that again.
the students are waiting to learn about like how it goes. Like, they will not be having that kind of exposure.
Yes.
A kind of, meeting with your, clients, and then what kind of issues you are facing without even sometimes we are sensitive about the company names and other thing. We are putting the students in the training, actually case interview methodology. We are following it, giving the situation, making them to work on it. So in that way, they would have seen by this time, because we started recently, and they have to go in full-fledged thing in the third semester. Now they are in the second semester now.
Right.
But at the same time, like your story is going to be the real story for them.
Absolutely. Miss, this is 100% practical. Nothing,
Yes.
no masala in it.
Yes.
Okay. And try to understand that once you are in a client environment, you will learn much more as a consultant about themselves. So you will be telling them their story. Effectively, after hearing them, lot of political things you will hear, how the people behave, the whole social behavior, you will learn it there at customer side. So that becomes very interesting. Now you will know a lot of things about them because you are meeting everybody, right? So you will get a lot of information. Now you cannot share this information. You cannot do that cross-pollination of information there in their environment. So how these become sensitive, and you have to be very cautious. You will be knowing most of their things, what is going on in their environment, and you cannot go and tell anybody. So these are the things which will come in front of you when you will look from compliance perspective. And how these things, you cannot go and write it on Twitter or somewhere like a young generation does, right? Whatever you observed, you just go and put it on Twitter or somewhere that publish this and, oh, I saw this thing happening here. No, you can't do that. Consultancy is all about confidentiality. It's just like lawyer's job, because as a lawyer, you cannot go and put that information share that information with anyone. Same thing is in consultancy. You cannot share the information. You can sanitize it at a higher level. You can share that info, but not telling the company name, how it happened, what happened. So that is why I said in the beginning that I may not be able to share with you a lot of information, but I will share some things here and there.
Yes.
Right. Anecdotes, etc. I will share.
Right. Yes. Go ahead, Krishna. Your questions. Yeah.
So thank you very much, sir, for walking us through your journey. So I'm interested to know, what are some of the fundamentals that a budding consulting professional needs to learn?
Sure. See, again, one of the things when we are looking at consulting professional is that they should be good in analysis. That is number one. Very, very, very critical. Whether you have knowledge or not, but you should be you should be analyzing the information. Okay. When I say analyzing the information, you should go into the depth of that information. Slice, dice, try to understand what this information means. Because in today's world, information is available in abundance. How you can find that right kind of information is very, very important for your project, what you are trying to do. See, at the end of the day, when you are putting a solution together, you will be looking at several of the things which you will not know. Okay. And how intelligent you are to analyze and get that solution from the market space is very important. There will be tons of tools, tons of methodologies, tons of things will be getting developed daily. How you bring them in into that particular solution. So let's say you are designing a solution today for a particular problem, right? How quickly can you go and assemble an information from various content sources within your organization, outside your organization, and put up a right solution? It can be a purely new solution, first of its kind in the world. Okay. And how you want to put it. Now I am doing one project again with the same company where it is a first of a kind solution in the world. So how we are bringing in those technologies, whether that will work, whether that will not work, nobody knows. But we have put together a solution and we are confident that it will work. How much it will work, we will see. It's all AI related. So we will see. We are expecting around 60-70% of accuracy in that project. Let's see if it happens. So that is how these things have to be there. So the first thing is that you should have an analytical brain. And how quickly can you research? Okay. Most of the people, most of the analytical people, they will have a second tendency of reading the books. So whenever they are traveling, you will see them reading the books. Nowadays, books have gone away. So Kindle and all those things have come in. So you will be more digital. So you will be hearing those. Utilize that time in hearing and again understanding. Don't get influenced. Try to understand what things have happened. So we look for those kind of people to start with. Third thing, very important, is that you choose a domain. Now, domain, when I say, that is about the industry. So let's say banking is one industry, right? Manufacturing is another one. CPG is another one, right? So you choose one domain and try to understand the depth of that domain. See, consultancy is all about understanding the customer. When you go to a particular industry, you need to know well ahead that what this company does. How it does, we will look into it later, because every company does, some differences there. But if you go to, let's say, for example, a banking business, a retail banking, right? Not even commercial. Retail banking business, if you look at it, 90% of the business is exactly the same everywhere, right? You have a saving bank, you have a current account, saving account, you have a loan account. And what a bank does, it disburses loan. And on the other hand, it provides you interest. How that banking system works, you should be pretty clear that this is how this works. Because until unless you understand that, you won't be able to understand what a client is trying to say to you. Where does they see the challenge? What is the challenges they are facing? So until unless you are able to connect with that domain, it will be very difficult. So the next thing we always advise is either you learn one domain before you join some company. And if you already have a domain, I'm telling you, you will be picked like hot cherries at any point of time. People look for these kind of people who understand domain, right? You just say that I understand the banking business, or I have done some projects with banking, I understand this. You see how your interview will change. Suddenly they will start focusing on you, because now they know that they don't have to train you on this. Otherwise, when we take the people in, first thing we do is identify a domain and put them on a domain training. That is the first thing we do. Next thing comes is that, okay, how are you going to deploy your knowledge, whatever knowledge you have acquired while doing your syllabus? So what are the practical projects you have done, and have you done it? Do you know it till depth? Because usually these projects are not one off. You will be doing it with a team. So we want to identify a person from the team who has really dirtied his hands. And if you have dirtied your hands, you know how this project is done. So you will know what kind of knowledge how you will collect the knowledge, what kind of tools you have used, how this all steps have gone through. Because again, if you don't do it, then we will have to train again, invest on you. What we want to do is, see, again, understand that we are a selfish company. Any management consulting company is a very selfish company. They want to invest least on you and want to get the billing from the customer from day one, which doesn't happen. So we have to train you first. So first 3 to 6 months will go in training. So we are going to make investment on you. Now, where we can save cost on ourselves, if we get a person who is already knows these things. If a person already knows these things or has invested in some type of effort during your college days, etc., it becomes very easy for us. We would be the first persons to hire you. So that is where I think these are the three things which you should look at initial days when you are going for your interviews, etc. These are the things we look for.
Thank you so much, sir. That was very informative. Now we all want to know what are the career opportunities in consulting.
Oh, now, Miss, again, this is an open world. Miss, where do you want to go is the question, and what you want to do is the question, right? So when you come to consulting, try to understand consulting means somebody in the world needs a help somewhere, and he may be having a solution, and he may not be having a solution, but he's looking for some kind of advice from an expert. Yeah, and that is where consulting comes into the picture. So globally, means consulting jobs, if you go, means there is no way you will not find a company. You will definitely get a company to work on. So lot of opportunities. But as I said, right, initially you will be joining as an analyst, as a business analyst, or as a technical analyst. You will get into that, and slowly. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are still there, right? Oh,
Yes,
somehow
yes,
it
yes.
Yes, sir.
switched.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So initially you will be joining as an analyst, okay, and then slowly and slowly you will moving up the ladder as you will gain the maturity into an industry, into a domain, and as you work on more and more projects. See, again, one thing I always say to everyone whom I meet is initial 3 years are very, very important. The first 3 years when you work, and that is where you gain the maximum, because you can also put in a lot of effort, you will get a lot of understanding, you'll be working on projects. The more and more after 3 years, it is all about, then you will get a team, there will be new freshers who will join. So by that time your hairs will start graying up. Okay, you will get a new team and they will work on the projects. So they will have their own problems, they will come with new outlook, and that you have to manage. So that is how you should look at these things.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for shedding some light on various career opportunities in consulting. So, what specialization do consulting firms look for?
So as I said, right, see, when you are going for consulting, you have to wear one hat. Either it can be a technology hat, where you become a technology advisor. So what kind of technologies you are looking at globally, or second is a business advisor. Business advisor means you know the domain pretty well, and you have some kind of an understanding that how things are changing all around you, and what will be the change in next 3 years, 5 years, how the world is going to look like. Miss, take an example, right? Miss, nobody in the world knew that COVID is going to come. And when it came, nobody knew how many years it will take for us to come to normal. 2 years into it, we realized that, okay, now we are in the fray, things are getting to normal. Can you guys guess now, what is the biggest business right now which is booming? Anybody?
Pharmaceuticals, sir?
No,
IT?
no.
Yeah.
Is the travel and tourism.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Very, very logical. Go out and see. Everybody is traveling. Everybody. People have left studies. People have left everything. They have just gone. People have left jobs. But everybody in India is traveling. Go and look at any report right now. Miss, again, this is the month of October, November. Go and look at your airfares. Go and look at your hotels. You will not get it. And people, places like Himachal or Uttarakhand, heavily populated. People have gone there. Miss, usually people didn't used to travel because they had so much to do. Correct? 2 years inside your home, one thing is there, they want to get out of it. And that is the industry which is booming right now. And nobody thought this thing 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And this will be there for next 6 to 8 months again. This is our prediction on that side.
Good.
So that is what is the thing which you need to look at while you are trying to get into these consulting, that you have to be very, very observable. Because things will change. Right now, since you did, let's say we did a strategy in 2018 and 19, it won't work because the whole COVID changed the whole situation. So now we have to reassess the strategy and relook at it. And that is what all the consulting firms in the globe right now, they are struggling with. because whatever strategies we have put, it's not working. Everything has changed. So that is how the things are so interesting. The pressure we face now that, okay, the things will not work because they have changed. And this is how the consulting works gets on.
Thank you, sir. Now we'd like to hear from you about how long of an experience would you say is the right experience for a consulting profession to
See,
establish
again,
themselves?
right. See, again, as I said to you, consulting is very interesting. You should join day one. Whenever you like to join, you should join day one. Maturity would come after 3 years. So it takes time for you to understand, work on certain projects, get some experience. 3 years is a very good time to reassess yourself that where are you heading to and what you need as a next part of growth. So that is where you will look at it. Then 3 to 5 years would be the time where you will be managing at least one team, a small team to do certain works. So you will get more experience. The moment you move into 7 years, 10 years, you would be pretty experienced and your value will in the market would also grow exponentially. So you would be starting at some, let's say X salary at a point when you are at zero, right? And then you will exponentially move to 3 years and you will see that salary change would happen. And then again, it would become, again, it can become 2x, 3x suddenly. And then as you move to 5 years and 7 years, it grows very fast. And then it becomes, after that, it becomes purely 7 years after, it becomes purely dependent upon how you perform. So it is all performance linked, which you will get. So there will be a salary, which will be a base salary. After that, it is all performance linked. So you can earn more and more. If you do a good job, if you create your importance in the industry, people will pay for your advice.
So, sir, we have heard of contract-based works for consulting. So, but are there any opportunities within a company for long-term work?
So yes, so again, look at it this way. See, contract, when you're talking about, it is an end customer you're talking about. See, from consulting perspective, if you want to do consulting, there are two heads. One is you can join the end company, okay, and you will be a long-term employee for them, right? The other one is that you join a consultancy firm. So when I named all these firms like McKinsey, IBM, PwC, E&Y, and their consulting arms, right? You get into that. So what will happen is you will get to work on variety of projects. Now, you are not going to do only consulting there. You will be going and also deploying these solutions and observing them. So you may be attached to that project for 2-3 years. And after that, anyhow, everybody gets bored. So you look for a change. So better to get a change there. Otherwise, getting stuck with a company and doing the same thing again and again after 3 years also, growth will be not there. Knowledge enhancement will also not happen. So you will get stuck. So better it is that, okay, don't worry about contract and all. Better get into a job which you will like. So one way is go and join the end company and just do the same work again and again. And then you move into administration with management and manage the teams, or you join this consulting. See, why I am always in consulting is, believe me, you do one project, then you get another opportunity to work on another one, right? Another challenge is there. Nobody knows a solution. You build a solution, you see the solution work. That is your satisfaction.
Correct.
In 1999, I created one, initial days, right? I created one screen, front end screen for PDO, this public debt office for RBI, Reserve Bank of India. It was built on VB6, Visual Basic 6. Nobody knows also if that exists. And the backend was mainframe because it had to be high transactional volumes and all. I built that. Today also it works.
Oh.
So when we see that today also, you get so much of satisfaction that this screen is built by me. No name is there, nothing is there, but I know this was made by me. And it works today also. So that is the satisfaction you will get, right? When you go back and look at these solutions. So that is the beauty of consulting.
Good.
Thank you, sir. We would like to know about your thoughts on the current status of consulting services in the market.
Miss, again, as I told you, it's right now it is at a stage where everybody is wanting to have consultants around them because everybody's strategy has changed. So there is a lot of demand. Again, but the demand is for people who have the knowledge and who have a little understanding, because we are at a stage where freshers can definitely be a part of it. But since the strategies for everybody has changed and not all the consultants and all the companies are equipped with a lot of people to do this. So everybody is looking for lateral hires. Lateral hires means people who have the little understanding of the industry and the technology and how the things are changing. So that is what they are looking for. It's a big change for consulting companies itself, because think about it, a customer has already paid you some millions of dollars to do the strategy, and the strategy is not going to work. So now you have to relook at the whole strategy to redefine it. So that is what is happening. So right now, a lot of demand in the consulting space.
So, sir, adding to what you mentioned at the initial stage of the session about hiring young people. So, would you say that young professionals bring in a fresh approach to solutions, or are they neither than refreshing at times?
No, we always look at freshers. See, again, try to understand. Most of the time, everybody in the world, not only in India, but outside also, you may not see it, but everybody is watching you. They don't look at us for solution. Means they don't even talk to us for our solutions. Means again, they think that, okay, means again, when we go there, it is all about experience. It is all about working on different projects, what we have done. When they look at the team, they first want to see how many young people are there in the team. Because you guys bring the perspective. You are the guys who are going to bring solutions, build solutions on these technologies. Means if you ask me, means again, let me go back to early, means again, when I was not even born. At that point of time, we used to have telephones. I don't know how many of you have seen telephones.
Yeah, correct.
Right? We used to have radios, radios means physical radios. A 10-inch radio, a transistor. We used to call them transistor. I don't think you have seen those. Maybe in museum somewhere.
Yeah.
But those were our life at that point of time. These were the things which were there. So now the things have changed. Now, when we were young, at that point of time, people were looking at us that, okay, how this world is going to change. We are talking about 5G today, right? Nobody in the world today knows what they are going to do with 5G. Okay, everybody is talking about 5G. And they are looking towards young generation that, okay, you tell me what you want to do with 5G. I'm providing you some kind of a technology, but you tell me what you want to do. Correct? So they are looking at you, what you can do with WhatsApp, what you can do. See, when WhatsApp came and this Facebook came, right? Facebook came earlier in about 20th, first century. And starting of that, believe me or not, at that point of time, I predicted that at some point of time, Facebook, and today also I'm telling you, Facebook, WhatsApp, they will become your banking engines going forward. Okay, and it will happen. If COVID was not there, it would have happened by now. Slowly and slowly, all the banks will move into this, because this is a social ecosystem which is getting created, and that is where all the sell will happen going forward. Okay. And try to understand, yes, because of COVID, speed has it is speeded up. How many of you now go to a mall or to go to this thing, other than doing a lunch or a dinner? That's food. You don't go out. Everything is available in your hands. You can buy it sitting at your home. It has become so simple for you. So that is what we are looking for. So when we are putting up a team, they are looking for two things. One, how many gray haired guys are there, and how many black haired guys are there. That is what everybody looks in. And that is where freshers are always required. We need freshers who can think, tangentially about solutions, and who can think in future that, okay, this is what it will look like. That is what we are looking at. Everybody is looking at that only. So very important that we have freshers. Otherwise, things will not work. And believe it or not, why? Again, I don't know if you would have realized. Look at the Indian firms, right? TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL, Tech Mahindra, and look at IBM, Accenture, McKinsey. Look at the hiring they do. The best result is the comparison. All these companies, the TCS of this world and all these companies, they are doing so well. Why? Because they have freshers. That is their strength. And all the other companies, they are hiring lateral, they are hiring 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 10 people kind of thing. Not going to work. Believe me. So, and that they are also observing that. So Accenture has put up a program. They have hired, again, in 2018, they hired 50,000 people. Now also they are hiring, but they are not hiring in bulk like TCS and Infosys. Why? Because TCS and Infosys knows that it will be the youngsters who will be in demand, not the lateral hires.
Thank you, sir. I have another question for you. How can one determine the success rate of a good consulting solution?
Means again, very simple. Means you have to deploy it and show it. So you build something, you advise something. Means again, advice you can do so much, right? See, every day when you get up in the morning, right, with your family or with your friends, in India, everybody is good in doing advice. Even your maid will come, she will give you some good advice, right? You deploy that advice and see the results. That's the only thing you can do. So that's the best way of managing. So success rate is always managed or calculated by ROIs, return on investments. So consulting, it is only one parameter, return on investment. If they have invested $1 million on you, they want 100 million out of it.
Right.
Thank you, sir. So for someone who is aspiring to get into consulting, so how best to approach it? What is the best approach? Like,
Again,
where do I start?
Again, do your course as well. That is one. Do your practicals very well. Practicals means do the projects very well in detail. Do that part because that is very, very important. Because based on that only your interviews will happen, your selection will happen. Give a little flavor of domain if you can. So spend last 6 months into domain if you can. I think those will be the things which will get you through to the interview, and then you can easily navigate the next corporate letter of getting the job and all. So better get that thing straightened out.
Right. Good.
So when I join as a fresher, what can I expect from the company and what is expected out of me?
Right. So again, as I told you, right, since we have already selected you in that case, so we already know that you are good at analysis. You are already good at certain things. We already know about you. So we will put you first in a training program. Based on that what are the gaps to be filled. Then there are certain techniques, etc., which you have not learned during your management courses and other courses. So we will bring that, or you will give you a quick rapid course on these things because you will need these tools, etc., to collect information, etc. We will give you some courses on technology which is required. So some people will come who are good in technology, some will come who are average. So we'll have to bring them equal. So some courses on that. So that would be the first 6 months. Then a project will be assigned, a mentor will be assigned to you to take you further into the projects. And see, again, the idea of the company is to make you successful, because if you are successful, then the company would be successful. Remember that.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That was very much informative. Now the session is open for Q&A. Participants can share their questions in the chat box or unmute themselves and ask.
We have done a kind of a review for the book review for the students on McKinsey mindset. So the current students have undergone the step-wise process like MEC, mutually exclusive and completely exhaustive thing.
Correct.
And we thought like let them tune their mindset in that way, so that at least this is what happening there. So
correct.
So though we say that many times it is very important to you, but they will not be listening to it. Like, for example, as you mentioned, like domain knowledge is very much required. Even I think the same thing you have mentioned at the time of business analytics syllabus also.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So analytics is a tool kind, but at the same time, the domain knowledge only may take you to the next level.
When you, madam, I just want to interrupt here. When you hear about data scientists, right? That is one thing which is there everywhere. I want to become a data scientist. Everybody wants to become a data scientist. You know why they fail? 99% is the failure rate in data science. 99%.
Right.
Because
application of that data into a practical solution or maybe application.
Not possible. They don't know the domain, and hence they
don't
fail.
know the domain. Yeah.
And they fail.
Yeah.
You can do modeling. Nobody, again, you go to any Google it, you will get a free tool to do modeling. All the
Yes.
models are already there.
Yeah,
You don't have to do
correct.
that. But
Yes.
how to use that model, how to interpret the result
Yeah.
is the most important part, and that is what people are not able to do today.
Yes, yes. Now, I think from that syllabus level, we are taking them to deployment level now, even that,
Yes.
OPS. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
that's what we
I
are
think
doing.
one person had a question.
Yeah,
here.
some question has come in the chat. Yeah.
What could be a good project for research and consultancy? Again, anything can be a good project. So the definition of good in itself is a little hazy for me. I don't consider anything as a good project or bad project. Project is a project. Okay. And wherever in a project you get to learn something new, you get to deploy your knowledge, or you get to at least go and do research and find out a solution. Those will be the best projects to do, because and then deploy it. So it is not only about telling somebody that do this. Means we are very good. We Indians are very good at it. Because we can go, we do that advice every now and then. If you just reflect on yourself from morning till evening, either somebody will advise you or you will advise somebody. And we are very good at it naturally, because in India that is how it works. We think everybody means we know much more.
Yeah.
And we do that. But try to deploy that solution and see it. And then you will notice that, okay, how the things are very different, how the environment is very different. Because today, if I tell you, again, I'll give you one example. Again, this is one of the things we did this year in the beginning. And this was just a team we formed on the net. And it was on internet, we formed a team. And we participated in Amazon. There was a hackathon there. And it was for analyzing, putting something together that can you guys predict some things. Okay. Believe it or not, what we took as a team was thunder strikes globally. So we put up a model with 50% accuracy, and believe it or not, we won the second place there.
Wow.
We won. Actually, we won. How much they gave? They gave us some reward also. Some, I think, $10,000 or $20,000 they gave in reward to us. So this was a project where I guided these guys, some team, and we got collected on the internet. They needed some help, so I just guided this team, and believe it or not, this happened. And we gave all that money to these youngsters. We didn't take anything again from my advice, etc. Nothing. We gave it to them. I said, you enjoy. See, this is your first win. This is your first salary. Go and enjoy. But the interesting part is, people have seen the difference, that how we can predict that this lightning strike will happen at this point of time. Now, this was trying to, so they were coming up because they were new, right? So they came up with certain parameters. I brought in that, okay, now look at the signs of thunder strikes. Why would a thunder strike would happen? Look at the temperature parameter, look at the pressure parameter, look at other things in and around. Why would a thunder strike happen? Now they started thinking. Then we started bringing that data into it. The moment we brought the data into it, our results were much better. We were able to think in that way. Now that detailed thinking is required.
I think one more question has come.
Yeah. Deploying it, what forums would be helpful for deploying our ideas and solutions? See, Kaggle is one area which is a very good forum, okay, where you get a lot of these problems and you can deploy it, test it out, and you will also have a competition there. So there will be globally so many people participating in that. That is the best place you can go. Means again, if you are a freelancer, etc., you can go there. Once you are hired, then it's a very different thing. Then you will be working on a project where you will see these deployments happening. But since till that point, you can go to Kaggle. Kaggle is the best site.
Yeah.
Means you have data, you have everything there. And all type of problems are there. So it is not only about data science I'm talking about. All type of problems. You have web development, etc., etc. People looking for good and new solutions.
Yeah.
And again, they are looking at freshers for ideas.
I want to ask this question, like, since you have this kind of flair towards analytics as your strength, and also you are traveling through the consultancy. So since we have a different, we are semester students with various specializations, where you keep the analytics in each specialization. For example, we provide marketing, HR, finance, and operations. And this year we plan to give the current forthcoming batch real estate and infrastructure. Where do you keep, do you think like all, of our business students should student must know about analytics? What would you suggest?
No, they should definitely. And again, being a part of your curriculum board of studies, I
Yeah.
think I have always said that practical information, practical knowledge is the best knowledge. Book knowledge is always good. It will always create a boundary for you. It will always create a structure for you, a framework for you. But the learnings will always happen when you do these things hands-on. So the more and more practical we can make the curriculums, etc., and people participate seriously into it, just don't copy from here and there and all those things. I think that is what is going to take you. And believe me or not, if you would have noticed madam, in last 3 years or 4 years, in interviews, people who have a practical experience of a project, etc., who can do that, and they are good in little in communication, they are the first persons who will be picked up.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
We don't look at how did you perform, how much was your CGPA, etc. We don't look at that. We know that if you have scored as 9 out of 10 means you know it. So somebody has already evaluated you, correct? So we believe in the your professors, right? If they have given you a 9, we believe in them, right?
Yeah.
Why should we test you for that? They have already done that job. So where do we test you? We test you in the practical these things, that what project you did, what depth was there, how much do you understand about that thing? If you're doing a coding in Python, how much do you know Python? If you are doing analytics project, how much do you understand that analytics? How do you interpret? That is what we look for.
Correct.
So whatever your college has already evaluated, we don't do that. We do. Why should we check that? Actually, your professors are doing it.
Correct.
So anybody, if you look at interviews also, believe me, people, the people who get selected first are the guys who are good in communication. Okay, so maybe you should brush up that part. And second part is look at your projects, what you have done, go into the depth of it.
So anybody else are asking questions? Otherwise, any faculty members have any doubts to clarify here? We are taking this first journey of putting our students into consultant position now. So as per our management directions.
No, absolutely. Again, I'm telling you that so much of demand is there.
Yeah.
And again, people who can think, who can see some things that what you can do. Again, think about a simple application, WhatsApp, right? What you can do with WhatsApp.
Yes.
So much of possibilities, so much. And that is what people are looking for, that how you can change everything.
The marketing guys need to look into what is the new platform that is available, so that they can give a suggestion or come with a new strategy. So the students have to think in terms of that. Yeah.
Correct.
So being relevant with the market, I think that itself is enough for the students to update it, that's what.
Right.
Yeah. I think any other questions, Mitra, Krishna? Can I?
I think if no one has any questions, I think we can close the session.
Yeah. Right. Yes, Krishna, you can go ahead with we have to value his time. He's spending his Saturday with us,
No issues. Miss, again, Saturday in the morning is the best part, because after that you again become busy, and the week is always hectic. So it becomes very difficult. Miss, again Monday onwards, as I told you, I'll be with a customer. So yes. So it becomes difficult.
Yeah. Right. Yes, Krishna, you can propose what.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
On the behalf of the Department of Management Studies, Dayananda Sagar College of Engineering, we wholeheartedly thank Dr. Ashutosh Mishra for accepting our invitation, sharing his experiences and his expertise. We also thank our management, our principal, Dr. CPS Prakash, and our HOD, Dr. KG Hemalata, for organizing such an insightful event. Last but not the least, we thank all the faculty members and all the wonderful participants for being a part of this session. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
You're always welcome, madam.
Yeah,
thank you to everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So much of this thing, pains to organize this.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Right, sir.
Thank you.